Good evening, everyone. My name is Flicker, and tonight I am going to be getting my Sky Dailies done. Hmm. Sounds tasty. Hmm. 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 Hope you're able to get some good sleep, Lilian. Big hug. Hope you enjoy your vacation. Alright. Hmm. Oh, nice. Mm-hmm. Didn't figure it would. Oh well. Mm-hmm. Foodie. I may just take a moment to go refill my water real quick. Because I think I need some water in my system before I keep going. Be right back. A bit of... Alright, I'm back, and I'm already feeling a bit better now that I've got some water in me. Considering our bodies are made of mostly water, yes. Not quite, we are meat suits with emotions. I wish we were plants. We also need to consume things, and we can't eat pure soil. We are not plants, we are animals. Hmm? Hmm. Well, I know something that I found a video today that actually helped me understand what exactly happened. Another piece of what exactly happened around the old friend group. Because I've still been trying to figure that shit out in order to be better equip myself to keep it from happening again. The old friend group, you know, Green Bean, Dunstork, and all the others. Mm-hmm. I've been trying to figure... Go ahead. I didn't have much to say. You had an actual thought prepared. Go. I feel like that's key information, so let me just unmute you in the recording and then you can say that again.
Say what again?
Alright. What you just said.
I forgot what I just said.
Something about niche and fable?
Oh yeah, that does speak to our Stua. Like the first bit of chapter that I read, I was reading, I'm like, this almost feels like a book I would read to children. Or just a fable, because it was just a man named Zarathustra who came down from a mountain and thinks all the other people who still worship God as sleepy people who have not woken up to the truth yet. And so he's going around trying to figure out why. It's a
Mm-hmm.
fascinating. But the only thing that catches me from wanting to read children is in terms of my own reading level, where I can read particularly hard texts, with no issues. This was in the upper middle level of my reading level. This
So it was
was
a fable
definitely
for adults.
yeah. It does not use a lot of big words, but there's a lot of things that, unlike most children fables, which are easy to understand, like, oh, this person bad, this person good, this presents you with an idea. And so far, what I've gotten from it is just Are people who worship God actually asleep and they're just blindly faithful in that? Or are they choosing to stay blinded?
Okay, so what you're saying is it's a fable that posits a question instead of just giving an answer.
Oh yeah, because all it's about is a man named Zarasura that comes down from the mountain. Everybody knows the famous quote, which is "God is dead. We have killed him," which a lot of people, have always said, "God is dead. We killed him," like nor any other. But the full passage is more fun and interesting. Let me
What's
try
the
and
full
find it.
passage?
Let me find it.
Hmm.
God is dead. God remains dead. And we have killed him. How shall we comfort ourselves, the murderer of all murderers? What was holiest and mightiest of all that the world has yet owned has bled to death under our knives. Who will wipe this blood off of us? What water is there for us to clean ourselves? What festivals of atonement, what sacred games shall we have to invent? If not the greatest of this deed is too great for us, must we ourselves not become gods to simply appear worthy of it?
That sounds a lot more like grief than it does pride.
But that's where I love this is a translation, a faithful translation of what Nietzsche wrote in German.
Because
But
the original stuff, it was translated by his bigoted fucking sister.
well, also the first translation was Victorian English and didn't quite get the right translations. And a lot of this you read Nietzsche because you're a nihilist. People think nihilism is life is meaningless. I don't care anymore. But nihilism is more than that. Nihilism often seems to come after you reject religion, because religion is the anchor. You're good, you go to heaven. You're bad, you go to hell. This God tells you who is bad and who's good. But once you kill the God in your image, you kill your faith in God. What do you do now?
Well, you try
That's
to
ultimately
understand the reality you live in.
that's where nihilism is and where Nietzsche's trying to get out of it. Because now that God is dead, I've often joked quoting this like, I have killed my God. I've killed my faith in the Christian God. And the whole point of what I've been doing, why I took such a big break, is I'm trying to understand my own nihilism. What is good?
Ah,
What is evil? Does life mean if there's nothing to look forward to? Where do I go from here? I have discovered a little hollow of myself somewheres, but beyond that is black. Who am I beyond this? How do others perceive me?
honestly, it sounds like you're dealing with a journey I went on pretty early on, and I'm only going back through again because I didn't understand what caused my unraveling around that dork. I'm still kind of troubleshooting and checking back in on my own conclusions and everything. What I know, what I don't know.
One of the hardest things for me that I have done, Sleep Token absolutely hammered what I did because I didn't realize I did it unconsciously. This
Hmm.
throne didn't come with a gun, so I've got a different energy. And for a Nietzschean lens, this is power without violence, as they would say.
That feels like it equates to. Hey Lilian, can I randomly ask a question? because I feel like it's
You just
going to relate to a lot of our previous conversations. When you
your
first
answer
met me, and
question.
you were like learning things from me and following me around and being excited about hanging out and all that, did it feel like I was already sitting on my own throne?
To be honest, it felt like you were trying to sit on it, but you were unsure if you wanted to actually take hold of the meaning of the power of what it does to a person. And this is from hazy memories, obviously, but that's just something that my brain was like, you know what? It felt like you were trying to sit on it, but every time you did, it was like a phantom pain, like you don't deserve to sit on it, you were burned.
Hmm. And I guess that's probably the truth of it, because let's be real, I had mastered myself without a core part of me being applied. So I would say if we're going with that metaphor, then no matter how much energy was in the throne, I was always missing a part of the circuit that would let me apply that power.
And then here's me where I am just. I've learned to let go. I've learned how to deal with shit. I've learned that power, the power I have, is one without violence.
Hmm.
Because power with violence only leads to fear.
Fair, and I would agree to that. I don't mind being intimidating to other people, and if there is a situation where I need to defend people I care about, then I wouldn't mind being scary. But power with violence for the purpose of control only induces fear. It doesn't nurture or support other people into finding their own answers. And I think that's probably one of the biggest flaws I have as someone who tried to enter that space and hold on to it. Because I view conflict as a connection, as an opportunity to, even if things get sharp or hurtful or intense, I view conflict as a method to still meet another person and face them as they are. And I don't understand how I got to that point. Because when I was a kid, I didn't want to have any conflict. I didn't want to fight with anyone. I wanted everyone to be friends. And the idea of getting into an argument made me go, But somewhere along the way, I realized confrontation is necessary, and that doesn't mean it has to be violent.
So the whole thing about the power of without violence is a Nietzschean concept that's called the will to power. And it is very much a looking at this and seeing what people say. It's some people say it's like self determination, and I think because this throne I'm on, this amount of power I have, I almost think it's kind of like an aura. People flock to me because I am me. I am unabashedly who I am.
Yeah, no, you resonate with yourself and you wield authority over yourself, which then helps people around you feel safe that you're not going to make a mistake or panic in reaction to a situation, because you know yourself and thus you know how you'll handle things.
And the people who don't like that, because the people who know me, the most inner circle, know who I am. And I'm unabashedly who I am.
Yeah.
and they know I slip and fall here and there, but that's more due to a fault in knowledge.
Yeah. And honestly, we're the same on that point. For me, one of the hardest parts about integrating the two parts of me that exist, because instead of just keeping one or the other, I want to acknowledge multiple truths at once.
And then there's me, like, just I am dominating my own self. I am
Who said I wasn't
everything.
either?
You've been struggling.
Oh yeah, most definitely, because I've had to relearn a lot of things, because I hesitated in a moment where there was a lot of pressure and got hurt because of that hesitation, because I wasn't firm. And so I had the power taken from my own hands from within, and it ended up in some place that I didn't get, that I didn't decide. And I'm learning how to sit with that and accept it so that way I can move on from it. Because if I don't accept where that ended up, where all that led to, and I can't let go, then ultimately it doesn't matter how much I move on, I'll always react to the situation. And
This
it
is why
would just be the past repeating.
I am reading niche because I have used up all my usable knowledge, scraps and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
and I need more information. I need to fill the gaps because right now where I'm at, I need to know more because the path of self mastery is usually a lifelong thing.
Mm-hmm.
I have discovered the core of who I am,
By the
and
way,
now
have
I'm
I shared how I changed my hairstyle in Sky to better reflect me?
Twin Tails,
Say that again?
Twin Tails.
And hair like a feather on the top of the head. For a long time, I
Okay,
rejected this expression of myself because it's more blatant, it's more immediate. I can't go stealth mode, and honestly, I've been relying on being in stealth mode.
I mean you've seen one of the core truths I've come upon. I'm agender. I really don't feel male or female. They're both just there. There are some days where I do feel the feminine, what people might call feminine thing, but really, I discovered lately that's just who I am.
Yeah.
I am just me. I might have my moments of femininity, of what people might call femininity. And it's as much of a part of me as anything else. And I am me.
Yep. Just like how a good chunk of my life after realizing and accepting that I was trans was sitting with that and accepting it, while also making sure I didn't swing too far the other way and try to reject my experiences in trying to be a boy either, because that is also still a part of me. The masculine traits I embodied because I tried to live up to someone else's expectation are still a part of me, but they don't need to live for that expectation. I worry a lot of other trans girls have gone and have swung too far the other way in trying to embrace what they didn't, the childhood they didn't get to have.
I found the pull from Jungian again. I often say that the people like that just they have repressed a lot of who they were for a long time.
Yeah, that doesn't mean they should be
And
taken advantage of.
can I be a little bit blunt and honest?
Go.
You are trying too hard to help people out. And you're not letting them fall for once. You're a mother bird refusing to kick the children out of the nest.
Well, even the game agrees with you because I just got kicked from Sky.
I also heard that little garbled noise of realization.
It was garbled on your end.
Yeah, I still when I heard that last sentence, I heard, uh-oh.
Here we go again. For a different end. Anyways, continue.
That's how I see it. You're trying to be a mother without any of the actual attempts.
Without any of the actual what?
Attempts. You try to be motherly, but you don't have any actual motherly energy.
Okay, on one hand, I'm insulted. On the other hand, if I'm insulted, that means you've probably got a point. Because I haven't finished living my own life for myself. So how the hell am I supposed to have the wisdom and experience to help someone else live their life? You still there?
Yeah, I'm
Mm.
just letting you think about your own truths and whatnot. I'm only here to add pointed comments.
Alright. Well, I don't have more to ramble on, so go ahead.
You set yourself as a mother of the group without any of the actual foundation to be one.
Do you want to know where that comes from?
Your own life.
What?
Said your own life.
Yeah. But which part? I want you to try and guess at which part of my home life it originates from.
Well, mommy issues, so.
To some degree, yes. To some degree, no. It's less necessarily issues and more to do with there was a part of me that was given because of the promise my mom made to herself. And if I were to live without that part of me, I don't know who I would have turned into. At the same time, though, that's not the only part of me, and in trying to give that gift to other people, I've made mistakes, I've done goofed, I've pushed myself way too far and gotten hurt. But some of the mistakes and the pain I've been through, some of the stuff that I've ended up experiencing was stuff I was going to run into anyways because it's part of my own nature, part of my own personality. And I don't get to just avoid it. There are lessons I needed to learn, and I feel like one of them was everything that happened in that situation. And trying to be there for others and to support them before I'd even finish getting myself solid ground. I was failing to actually practice what I had preached. Fortify your foundation so you have something to stand on, then build from there to create connections and meaningful interactions. I was always hungry for someone else to understand me, and I'm sitting with that hunger, even still.
And the hunger will always be there.
Yeah, but at least I'm giving it to myself now instead of trying to demand it from someone else or hope that I'll run into a random person and one day we'll suddenly just click. Because that's where I think the trap lies, is in confusing a sense of feeling understood for a sense of romantic connection. Those aren't the same thing, but media has portrayed them as the same thing, and so I thought they were. The video I watched today pointed out how when you see someone else pull some bullshit that you know you would have gotten punished for, it sends you into fight or flight mode immediately. And honestly, I feel like that's part of what happened in my experience. I saw other people doing things that I wouldn't have been able to pull off. I wouldn't have been allowed to do. And I reacted to that. In some ways, I'm still reacting to it. And it's a grief. It's a personal grief that I have to sit with in order to integrate, hug close, and then let go of. Because if I never sit with it, then how the fuck am I going to ever feel comfortable with myself around other people who don't do the same things as me? Who don't agree with me or see the same way? It just doesn't make sense. Because if I always see everyone else as another me, then every time someone does something that I wouldn't have done, and I haven't tackled that piece of grief or confusion yet, I'll be left sitting and reacting to it, which doesn't help anyone. Also, I didn't know this hairstyle was called twin tails.
Well, I don't know if that's the actual. This is one my brain goes to.
Hmm. That camera angle couldn't have been more awkward in one regard. Oh. Going straight to another one of these? Okay, that's a bit of a better camera angle. Oh. Let's do it. Whoa, hold the fuck up. We get a flying section here? Now that is artistically beautiful. Let him rest among the stars. Even if he was not appreciated in life, he will be appreciated in death. Oh. You must not believe that your work is without value. Do not lose courage. Better days are ahead. You are not alone. I am always thinking of you. One day, people will understand what you are really trying to do. Here's hoping. Oh. Johanna devoted her life to bringing hundreds of Van Gogh artworks and letters she inherited to public attention. After 15 years of persistence, the Van Gogh exhibition was held at Amsterdam's Stedelijk Museum. Stedelijk. It cemented Vincent's reputation as an artist. To date, it remains the largest Van Gogh exhibition with over 200 paintings. You're welcome. I appreciated playing. It lined up with the themes of this discussion I had with Lilian. Dear Van Gogh, Johanna van Gogh Bongier, Theodorus van Gogh, Vincent van Gogh, Neuen, the Netherlands. Congregation leaving the Reformed Church in Neuen. Avenue of Poplars in Autumn, 1884. Bulb Fields, 1883. Arles, France. The Yellow House, 1888. Cafe Terrace at Night, 1888. Starry Night over the Rhone, 1888. Saint Remy, France. Inner Courtyard, Saint Paul de Mausolée Asylum. In Vincent's Ward, Saint Paul de Mausolée Asylum. Almond Blossom, 1890. Aversiois, France. Wheat Field with Crows, 1890. Graves of Vincent and Theodorus van Gogh, 1890. Hello. Thank you. No problem. I actually really like how they presented this all. It's a beautiful demonstration of history, and a good way to preserve it, too. Girl from the depths staring up at the sky. hoping that one day she might be able to fly. Not me. That hair would be nice, that cape would be nice, that teapot would be nice, but nah. Have I done this yet? No, I have not. Oh, joy. Hmm. Alright, I'm done with the little in-game section, so you won't find me reading much from there. You got anything else to say, Lilian?
Hydrate or dihydrate?
I would much rather hydrate. Hmm. Hmm. Can I ask why you say it felt like I was hesitating to take my throne? Do you even have an answer for that, or do you feel like that's just what it is?
That's just from hazy memories.
Fair enough. Well, anything else you want to add to the recording, or nah?
Remember, personality above all else.
But what about my titties?
Titties are good.
Yeah, titties are good.
But
What if I have personality issues? Have you considered that we might like your personality issues?
if the tits are attached to a person, that is not very nice. No matter how good the titty looks, the person's still a shit person.
I can agree with you there, but at the same time, people are going to argue with you because you stated it in black and white instead of shades of gray. Then
Or
again,
I
we
am
don't really need to
Aurora.
be referencing that book.
At least it's not 100 Shades of Grey.
Ah. Ugh. Oh, yeah. Alright. I'm glad I just decided to take today to rest. I needed that nap and I needed that this conversation with you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Always.
Now get over here, you little shit. I'm gonna noogie your head.
Dodges.
I said get over here!
Takes into the ground.
Becomes a mass of vines and just trails after you. Eventually dragging you up to the surface and then doing as I promised. Rubbing my knuckles against the top of your head. Are you so sassy now?
Bites.
Ah! You little shit! Numbs your ear. And then ruffles your hair a bunch, letting you go.
Okay, look, fine.
You want more poison?
I always have the poison. I always bite your vine when you're not looking. Wait, what?
Bruh, I think that counts as some kind of physical assault.
Don't worry, you never noticed until now.
Excuse me? Bad Fox. Bonk.
The joke's on you because you never noticed.
Ah! Alright, so what type of vine are we talking about here? Like the ones that I let out while I'm sleeping, or are you talking about something else?
Well, the ones when you're sleeping are the best.
Why?
They have the most poison in them.
Oh, god damn it. Again, the poison is supposed to be there to make me not edible, damn it.
Then explain why it's so tasty.
I don't fucking know! I don't think that's calibrated for void foxes or whatever. You're supposed to get a stomach ache from it, nausea, indigestion.
Oh, so you're talking about regular Tuesday morning then.
God fucking damn it.
Poison ineffective. Symptoms are already present.
Fuck you.
Thomas?
No, not promise. In fact, I refuse. Get punished. By your own sassiness.
Yeah.
Pout all you want, you're not having it. So I take it even if I were to request for you to ask before I fall asleep, that you'd probably still do so anyways? When it comes to biting the vines?
No promises.
Boops you. And every morning where I wake up and you're biting on the vine, and you haven't asked me before I've had the chance, before I get to go to sleep, is a morning where I'm gonna boop you, you little shit.
Stealth Fox go burr.
Stealth Fox gets detected by magic every time. What the fuck are you on about?
That's only my clone.
Oh, so you're only visiting me via clone? How nice to be. How nice. You're not even able to visit me in person.
Oh no, I do visit you in person, but whenever you do the magic spell, I'm just not there.
Oh, what? You don't want to get caught and bound?
Only on certain days.
Oh.
Besides, have you ever tried to keep a physical form? It's a lot more draining than you think.
What?
You heard me.
I heard you, but I don't understand you. So, reframed so as to better clear up comprehension?
My body's always stuck in the void, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think it's so easy
Oh.
for me to slip in between everything?
You know what? That helps make a lot of sense on why you're able to, like, dig up things from the ground and eat them. even though it's just a void. You're digging up possibilities and nourishing yourself on those, instead of giving them time to coalesce into actual objects. Which means which means I've been overfeeding you, you little glutton!
You're the one who misunderstood how us away foxes eat.
I feel like I should choke you just for comedy's sake. I'm not going to, because I know it wouldn't be funny, but I wish cartoon logic was applicable right now.
Listen here.
Exactly. And I'm just violently shaking you back and forth, and you're like, whatever.
No, it's like void fox form. Seriously, just shake my eyes. Are just like, eh. Just that goofy fox look, just like, eh. Still your own fault for feeding me.
I mean, you're not wrong there, but still, boop. Love you, you pain in the ass. Yes, I will insult you and say I love you in the same sentence. Fucking you know that's the case, and that's why you like me.
Because you remember I insult as a love language, right?
Yep. Because stating your feelings outright feels more dangerous to both your family and to the social environment you were raised in.
Well, I mean, I think you've seen a conversation between me and my mom when I was unmuted.
Oh yeah, no, it's understandable why you try to avoid her. Hell, even for all the things that I'll say that my mom did manage to get right and what legacy she did manage to bless me with, I will also say that at certain points in my life, I just completely embraced it, what I was supposed to be, and used it to my advantage to become a bitter little shit because she was not listening to me or actually respecting me as a person. She was just prioritizing, what does a child? And it's just like, I appreciate that you're trying to do what's right by me. At the same time, however, it's mildly insulting that you're not willing to listen to me at all half the time. Meanwhile, I imagine it's probably worse with your mom.
As my twin would say, our mom's like a high school bully.
Ugh.
Never really grew up.
Yeah, and a lot of people are going to end up being like that because of improper gentle parenting. Because the video I watched today was all about that. And apparently, people who are doing gentle parenting, like communicating and all that, they're doing it without setting boundaries. And that last piece of information, that last necessary core component, is what leaves them unable to actually, you know.
Well, it's less of that.
Want to argue with the video instead of me? Because I'm just repeating the video.
Well, the video doesn't really. Does the video ever touch on having quote unquote multiple parents?
Yeah, and it talks about how the best form of parenting isn't necessarily gentle parenting, but rather finding a parenting style that naturally fits each adult. So that way the child grows up in a multifaceted life to become a multifaceted person that's capable of responding to multiple different situations.
Yeah, because my mom barely parented me.
Your mother was absent, and yet she also tried to be present, which sent mixed signals and left you going, what the fuck are you on about?
How
Why
does
should I
this
listen to
sound?
you?
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Let's put it this way. My father wasn't there for birth. He just sort of was gone for 8 years.
Jeez.
Then out of the blue came for 8. Then out of the blue came back. Was with us for 8 years. And then our mom basically drove him away.
Oof. Do you have a good
And in the
relationship with them?
yeah, now I do.
Okay.
Because one of the things I can do that some people have a hard time doing is letting go of the past.
Fair.
And that's what I do.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to figure out how to do without, like, saying too much or putting myself at risk necessarily, because I don't want those memories from the old group to just fade away into nothing, and for everyone to just be forever bitter about each other over things unsaid or not understood. At the same time, though, I don't have communication available to ask people, hey, you okay if I talk about this? So learning to balance that and to just keep it to my own experience while also acknowledging that it wasn't just a me problem. I was just the center point that it all bounced off of.
Do you want to hear the other part of my childhood that I sort of remember?
Go ahead.
Every summer would be with my aunt and uncle. And we would have fun science time. Or
Aww.
we would go out mini golf, or we'd go and swim in a lake, or rock skipping, just general kid activities, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to figure out how to word this. We also had my house had my nana and grandpa. You remember when
Alright.
I talked about how I am the culmination of what would happen if you had someone from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s all distilled in, and also early 2000s distilled into one person?
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. I didn't quite fully believe it because at the time I was like, okay, how does that happen? But I'm willing to believe it more so now because of where this conversation started from. Because you're basically saying you were taught by multiple older generations and got to see their insights and their takes on history.
Well, not just that, more than that.
Alright.
When our mom, we were raised by all of them. I learned how to build a deck. I learned how to do a lot of things from my grandfather. I learned from my nana how to do puzzles and how she did things. My aunt and uncle were from another.
Keep going.
It's a kitty.
Oh. Welcome to the voice call.
Hi.
And my brother also.
Mm-hmm. I'm currently recording, so don't say anything you wouldn't want lasting on the internet forever.
Booga booga.
Grabs the kitty and brings him in my lap. Come here.
Oh.
That's good, kitty.
Oh.
My uncle and my grandfather were my father figures.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Because my actual father was not there, was there for the middle of my life. And that's why I say that the 50s through early aughts, I am a version of what happens.
Mm-hmm. Just like how I have insights from multiple generations myself, with how my autism has left me open to some of the more child-friendly spaces in terms of entertainment, and how I'm easily amused. And so I can connect to just about any kind of media that's present, even if I don't necessarily find much useful from it.
For a while, and I mean a while. You wanna know how long it took me to get rid of the very old mindset of blood, sweat, and tears?
Alright.
It took me until 3 to 4 years ago to stop thinking that way.
Mm. Fair.
Because when you know how when you get your first paycheck you should be overjoyed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how, wow, I got my first paycheck from this job even though I didn't work very long. You know what I felt?
What?
Hollow.
Yeah.
Because I've been indoctrinated that if you didn't put your blood, sweat, and tears in something, it was not worth it.
That sucks.
My entire life. And right now is unraveling and trying to get the best of the generations.
Yeah. I feel like it's a
Reckons.
lot of what we're up for the next few years.
Well, and that's why I want knowledge.
Are you trying to find wisdom inside of knowledge, or are you simply equating knowledge to wisdom?
I'm trying to get data on how I should move forward with this indoctrination.
Hmm. Fair.
Because, as nihilism goes, and as you notice, I'm calling it indoctrination because that's what I grew up around. That's what happens when you're a kid being taught by people whose very definition was hard work.
Yeah. In isolationist's perspective, it's either this or nothing else. There's no way it can be a range of possibilities.
So my whole thing is gonna be trying to figure out of everything I've learned, what is the most useful that I can just let go?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still trying to figure it out now.
Yeah. Because there's explicit biases from the things we learn, but then later on down the line, you may run into the implicit biases that have been hiding out of sight and or beyond, like, your original perception. And that's also a part of the process. It's
And
not just one and done.
I'm also a nihilist, so it's a lot more work.
Hmm. I can understand nihilism and absurdism. I genuinely do think this world was built with meaning and purpose integral to its structure, this reality we live in. I just don't think that that meaning has to connect to us on a personal level each and every single time, nor does it have to be, like, rigid in its definition. I haven't found a good word for it because the only two nearest reference points are just you. That's not what I'm talking about. So I usually just let it slide under the radar. Anyways, continue.
For me, nihilism is what happens when you stop believing in the main religion of the world.
Was it even the main religion of the world through a reasonable means in the first place, or was that just it because other people could tolerate it?
Well, if you
Oops,
think
there's my
about it,
bitterness showing. There's my bitterness showing. Whoops.
you want to hear my deconstruction of what religion is?
Alright.
We look at the pagan religions when there's lightning and thunder. The people used to say, like the Nordic people would say, it looks like Thor is hammering on his anvil right now
Yeah, personification.
because they didn't know anything better.
Yep.
Recently, they actually found a full skeleton of a shaman. I need to verify this is true, but it was a lot of places. About how the skull had a slight deformity. That
Oh.
if the neck was craned a certain way, it would pinch a blood vessel and cause one to black out.
Playing with the sensations and senses.
Well, here's an interesting thing. Let's rewind the clock back to when this would be a lot more pagan shamanism,
Mm-hmm.
receiving a message from what is believed to be the gods. And as we all know what choking does to people,
Yeah.
hallucinations,
A
things
mild sense of
think
euphoria, if you're kinky
so.
enough.
But imagine this in a more pagan religious sense. You think you're communing with your god.
And so the unconscious gives you what you want.
Yeah. You think you are talking to God.
But instead, you're just speaking with your unconscious as the manifestation of what you understand that God to be
And
like.
in the midst of this little head tilt, you can almost call it like a ritual. So you
Yep.
do it a lot. So you think you're communing with a god. When in actuality, you're just hallucinating so badly.
And that's a valid experience. How we interpret things
And
is just as much as important as what the reality is too. Sure, you can say it's 100% this, but that's not going to stop someone from interpreting that experience as something else.
this is where my deconstruction of religion comes in. All religion is, in at least the sense of, how do I want to put this? In the sense of at least pagan religions and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
were just ways to explain what was happening in the world, natural phenomena.
Yeah, a good enough excuse that enough people could believe in or agree on so as to quell confusion, curiosity, and doubt. Our ancestors have been doing that for centuries.
And Christianity is, well, a way to.
That.
Well, Christianity is a way to explain what went on. But at the same time, there's another thing
Mm-hmm.
I like to think about. It was also a way to tell people how to be good or evil.
Morality.
And in the way that it's... Because if you ever really read the Bible, it is very much just a text.
Yeah, it's an archive of intention.
And it is the main religion right now.
Yeah, but that's only because the structural systems that allow it to be presented as such are still intact, and people who are paranoid about everything else except for the thing that they've grown up with or are comfortable around are constantly getting in the way of other structures and other infrastructure for different expression and communication from being built and supported by community.
My boss at work, who is quietly like Catholic/Christian, was taken aback when I told him that there were more Christian than other Christians.
Yeah, they probably are.
Well, one,
Because they're quiet about it.
exactly, and I told him this. Most Christians try to convert people. And while he did agree on that, he didn't try to push it. I was telling him, a good Christian follows the basic tenets, which are be good to one another, be good to your neighbor, you know?
Yeah.
I don't remember the full thing, but like be nice to your neighbor, don't try to steal other people's things, the Ten Commandments.
Apparently,
Basic,
I've seen a video that boiled it down to two basic ones, but
which
I can't
is
remember. Love thy neighbors and I don't remember the other one.
As far as I know, the Ten Commandments were kind of void after Jesus.
a what?
As far as I know, the Ten Commandments were kind of void after Jesus came.
Well, Old Testament versus New Testament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and find that video in a second. Hold on. Because it was a video I think I sent to multiple servers, and considering we've had this talk about Christians and hollow Christians before, it's like, might as well continue.
Well, here's another big thing that I know of. What was it? I remember watching a video on this. The Old Testament was before
There we
Jesus,
go.
and what people thought was real. And then Jesus came around and then constructed new things to go around with it.
Yeah, because he understood psychology on a better level and was able to account for people's mental states and whatnot, I would
Old
bet.
Testament was crazy, though.
Well, yeah, it was a product of its time. Like any
Yeah.
religion or rule book.
You know, that's something that I catch a lot of, like, atheists trying to debunk the Bible on. They try and cross-reference the Old Testament with the New Testament. Well, it says here that he did this, but in the New Testament it says this completely separate thing. Why is there a discrepancy? You're not supposed to cross-reference them because they're not
The same thing.
they're not the same thing.
They're supposed to be the same thing in terms of purpose, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're the same thing in terms of history and circumstances that they were built around.
And in terms of the difference between the Old Testament and the New Testament, God never changed. What
Yeah,
changed was the existence of Jesus.
yeah. Also, I would say that the one superpower of humans, beyond just pattern recognition, would be infrastructure. without infrastructure, we are weak, but with infrastructure, we can do things that absolutely confuse the hell out of other living beings, including ourselves. And books like that are a form of infrastructure. They're just not physical infrastructure, they're social infrastructure.
This is why I tell people Christianity is stupid.
Hollow
Yes,
Christianity is stupid. Regular Christianity is being preyed upon by hollow Christianity and played a fool.
Mm-hmm.
So many people are looking in the wrong areas.
Because
have a
fear and
friend in-
paranoia want easy excuses.
I have a friend in Oregon. Was raised Catholic, grew up to resent Catholics. Still goes by Jesus's teachings because they're just generally good.
Yeah, you can reject what you were
For good
taught
will.
while still finding value in it.
Yeah.
Just because some things need not be sacred does not mean you discount everything as not worth fighting for. Quite the opposite. It's because everything has a worth to it that it has a reason to be fought for at different times and places. Who needs sacred? Who needs the sacred when one is willing to fight for something in the moment where it is present and it is useful? Because sanctification is just the inverse of scapegoating. And it has the same isolation and absolutism issues that scapegoating does. It turns people into excuses and complex situations into moral principles when it's about the people first and foremost. The people, the environment they're situated in, whatever problems are present, and yeah. But acknowledging that the people are part of the equation then brings in the emotional aspect of the people, which then is what gets us tied up in and entangled with the ideas of morality and religion. Because then people want to hold on to beliefs that have been beneficial to them, but in order to get through a situation and survive, one may have to put aside one's own beliefs, and that never feels good. That creates cognitive dissonance. Sorry, did I talk too much?
You're being flicker.
Yeah. Didn't mean to talk over you, Sober.
It's fine.
Like I said, flicker being flicker.
Simple, basic, easy. I'm not going to be able to get that for a while. Hugs and snuggles the gremlins.
Squishes the kitty between us.
Why is it you always want to squish the kitty?
Kitty very squishy?
You just like seeing them flustered.
Maybe a little. But also at the same time, kitty likes being squished.
I'm not about to argue with you there. I just wanted to point it out.
I finished Persona 5.
Noise. Had fun?
I stopped caring by like hour 70, and I had 30 hours to finish after that.
Ow. Bites a kitty.
Mm.
Good kitty.
Mm.
A very good kitty.
Mhm.
A good kitty, good kitty, good kitty, good kitty. A good kitty, good kitty, good kitty. A very good kitty, good kitty, good kitty. Big squish.
I didn't spell that right, damn it. Time to go learn how to spell it right. Well, I know how I passed spelling tests as a kid.
How?
I just memorized how to spell it instead of actually learning the rules. I just memorized individual words because I could. And now that's
Wait, is
coming
that
back
how
to bite.
people do it?
Yeah, that's how
That's
people do it.
huh. And here I thought people actually learned the rule set and whatnot.
No.
Flicker being a dumbass again.
Because it's kind of like,
Mhm.
okay, how do you spell a word that starts with a f sound? Well, typically it starts with an S unless it starts with a PH.
Yeah, no, that's just a
Spell
whole lot of logic.
Iridoxiclesis.
Spell
Ugh.
Oedipus.
Ugh. That was a hard one.
EDI.
No.
Nope. Damn.
OE. It's like OEPEDIUS.
Ah, yes, the words that are spelled different from how they're pronounced. The fucking spike trap of the linguistic world.
Spelled
The pit
pneumatic.
trap. PH.
Nope.
Well, it doesn't start with an N.
PNEUMATIC.
There we go.
I am a nerd of the highest of flavors.
And I have you by
I
my
wasn't paying
side, so I
attention.
have nothing to fear.
And without me, you would be lost.
Eh. Can't say that, but I can definitely say I would be far dumber.
You'd be even more of a dumbass than now. I like the flicker. I'll squishing the kitty in the meantime.
Fucking video game moved a message boat I was interacting with. And I didn't get to respond to it. Stupid. Stupid, stupid.
Flicker. Cute.
There we go. Mhm. those of you who snuck by and saw a fragment of this recording, thank you. To those of you who stuck around and watched a good chunk through, I deeply appreciate it. I hope you all have a good day, good night, whatever time or non-time it is. And if it isn't good, you're feeling stuck, lonely, lost, confused, scared, or otherwise, well, I hope that things either improve, that the chaos outside and within stays manageable enough. I just smacked myself in the face. Not good.
Lol.
Or at the very least that you're able to find someplace to sit, rest, and vent from, without hurting yourself or others if you can help it now. We're all
She
just trying
says
to live
while
our own
smacking her
lives.
face.
What?
I said she says while she smacked herself in the face.
It was only one emote. I didn't need a secondary repetition. Fucking boop. Boops you again for laughing. Gremlins. In any case, I've gotten my Sky Dailies done, so I'll be seeing you all in the next video, my watchlings. Hope you're all doing well. Usual spiel and all that. Love ya,
Don't let
bye,
the
see you
gremlin.
then.
Don't let the gremlin